A very good morning to all of you. This is Professor Kushaba Salonke, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Vasantdada Patil Arts, Commerce and Science College, Patoda, District Bid. In this session, we are going to study one of the beautiful poem in the Romantic period. The name of the poem is "Oh My Love Is Like a Red Red Rose," composed by Robert Burns. Students, it is very important to study the introduction of the poet before studying the poem. So, we are going to read some introductory part of the poet's life. Poet is Robert Burns. He born in 1759 and died in 1796. He was one of the early romantic poets who wrote some very simple and touching lyrics. So he was well known for writing or composing lyrics. "Oh My Love Is Like Red Red Rose" is one of the such lyrics. So this poem, as we are going to study today, is one of the famous lyric composed by him. Burns is regarded as the pioneer of romantic movement. As I have said you earlier, Robert Burns is well-known poet in romantic movement and he is known as the pioneer of that movement. Other than writing poetry, he collected folk songs from all over Scotland. So he composed literature regarding to the folks or regarding to the society of Scotland. His poem is often sung at Hogmanay. Most of Burns' poems were written in Scottish dialects. So there were some festivals in Scotland, and in those festivals, the Burns poetry were being recited by the people, and he most of time he composed his poems in Scottish dialects. They record and celebrate traditional Scottish culture, expressions of farm life and class and religious distinctions. So the way people were living in Scotland, their culture, their day-to-day life, and their tradition were the major themes in Robert Burns' poetry. Burns wrote in variety of form, epistles to friends, ballads, and songs. So, variety of poems he has been composed. His best known poem is mock heroic Tom O'Shanter. So, Tom O'Shanter is one of the famous poem or well known poem composed by him. He is also well known for over 300 songs he wrote which celebrated love, friendship, work, and drink, which often hilarious and tender sympathy. So, his major poetry or major themes including love, friendship, work of the people who lived in Scotland. So, this is the introduction of the poet, and one of the important thing that Robert Burns, later known as the National Bard of the Scotland. Here, the word bard means poet. So, at the end of his life, he were he was known as National Bard of the Scotland. So, he was known as National Poet of the Scotland. This is the introduction. So, let us see the structure of the poet. This poem is divided into four stanzas. Each stanza includes four lines. That is a quatrain. So we can say that this poem is a blending of four quatrains. So we will read the poem first, then we will explain or analyze the poem stanza wise. So I am going to read the poem. Let us see. "Oh my love's like a red red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till the ge- till the seas gang dry. Till the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run." And the last stanza, "And fare thee will, my only love, and fare thee will a while, and I will come again, my love, thou it were 10,000 miles." So this is the poem. Before explaining poem, it is necessary to see the difficult words come into the poem. So in the very first stanza or in overall poem, we can see that there are many words used from the old English or old language. So such words are, for example, LUVE, LUVE. This is old spelling of the word love. In modern English, we spell the word love as LOVE, but here the spelling is LUVE, love, it means love. So, see, here the word has come thou, THOU, thou means your. Again, the word has come thee, THEE, thee means your. So, there are not so many difficult words or vocabulary is used very simple way, so we can understand easily. And here the word has also come thee means your. Will, in modern English we spell WWILL, will, here WEEL. So there are some differences in the spellings too, so it is understand or it is better to take into our mind. So let us explain the poet. Oh, my love is like red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like melody that's sweetly played in tune. This is the first stanza. In this very first stanza, the poet or the narrator is comparing his love with many things in the nature. So he is explaining that his love towards his beloved is as red as the beautiful red rose in the garden. So we all know that when the flowers blossom, they look very beautiful, and especially in the month of June, when there is a season of spring, the flowers of rose look very beautiful. So the poet is saying that my love is like that flower which is blossomed in the garden. And in the next two lines he is saying that my love is like the melody that sweetly played in tune. Melody here means beautiful music. So he is saying that my love is like that red rose, or my love is like melody. That melody means very beautiful music which is very pleasant to listen. So he is comparing his love in with a red rose and melody in the first stanza. So let us see the second stanza. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love I am, and I will love thee still, my dear, till the seas gang dry. So here the exaggeration has been used, figure of speech. He is saying that I will still love you even when the seas or the oceans will not dry. So we all know that oceans or seas are never going to be dry because there is a lot of water in that, so they are not going to get dry. So he is saying that my love is not going to mortal, it will be immortal love, or it will be a pure love, it will be everlasting love towards my beloved. In the next stanza, he says that till a seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. So he is saying that I will love you still the seas will dry, or these rocks which we see around us will melt with the sun, because we know that for melting the rocks by the heat of sun will take so many years, lot of years it will take. So till then the poet is going to love to his beloved. So we can see that the everlasting love or pure love is explained in this poem, while the sands of life shall run. Means so many year, for uncountless year, the poet is going to love her beloved. And fair art will, my only love, and fair thee will a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. And in the last stanza, he says that when I will die, or after my death as well, I will come back. He's saying that, and fare thee, fare means farewell, to say goodbye, and fare thee will, my only love, and fare thee will a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. After my death, or after the 10,000 years, I will again come to you, because it is a very pure love of mine towards you. It is very everlasting love of mine towards you. This is the poem. So, if we see the theme of the poem, it is a kind of lyric, first of all, first important thing. So, in this lyric, the poet is explaining his everlasting pure love towards his beloved. He is comparing his love with so many things. He is comparing his love with a red rose. Then, after, he is comparing his love with a melody or beautiful song which we love to listen. Then, after, he compares his love with a stones or oceans, or he is saying that his love is very pure, that will not come to an end. Still, the seas gang dry, or rocks melt with the sun. And he also promises to his beloved that he will again come back to you after his death too, because it is his pure love or everlasting love. So, this is the poem. There are some comprehensive questions. See the questions. Pick out all the images in the poem and explain the roles that play in presenting the theme of poem. As we know that there are some different images explained by the poet, so we have to explain these images used by the poet according to the theme of the poem. Or the next question is, identify the words in the poem which are not pure English and explain their meanings in context. As I have earlier said you, there are some rough words, or there are some words used in old dialect, and these words which we have to explain in this answer, and we have to replace these words with modern English words. Or next question can be, explain the theme of the poem. Very simple question. So in this question or in this answer, you have to explain all the stanzas accordingly, and you have to also explain major themes used in the poem, or theme of love, how theme of love is explained by the poet in the poem. So this is the poem. It is very simple to understand, it is very easy to understand, and easily we can write the answer of any questions asked on this poem. So in examination, the questions of 5 marks will be asked on this poem. So this is the poem. Thank you very much for watching this video, and comment me if you have any queries. Thank you very much.